I accidentally actually licked that microphone.
Oh, yummy! We here at Hack the Dino's Gaming Cast love licking the microphone. We just put it close to our lips, purse them, and give the tongue a big old slurp right down the... nom, 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 nom. But we do other things apart from lick microphones and hope that it gives us special powers, because those special powers will help us turn into a big old spaceship where we can fly away and battle aliens on realms of seas. That's right, the sea realm, where under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Jesus Christ. Floppy!
Yes, mate?
What's on tonight's show?
Well, we're going to talk about the top 10 best sci-fi games.
The best ones?
Yeah, what do you think is going to be on there?
Probably Star Wars. Mm-hmm. There'll be a Star Wars on there.
The space battles?
Just the Star Wars.
Just the Star
Wars.
Wars?
Great Star
What else
Wars.
do you think might be on there? Top 10. This is top 10 best
all right.
sci-fi games of all time.
Geez. Okay. I reckon
Commander Keen?
Yeah, definitely Commander Keen has to be in there. Mm-hmm. And probably his grandson. Who's his grandson?
BJ
again?
Blazkowicz?
I think so. No. That would be his uncle.
Oh, okay.
Or is it his father?
His father.
Great father.
Maybe one of them was Doomslayer?
Doomslayer.
Doom guy?
Yeah, one of them.
I can never remember what order he goes
He should be on there. I reckon other sci-fi.
Do you reckon there'll be a Star Fox game on there?
Oh, well, possibly. We do like an old fox around here.
Silver Fox?
Yeah, well, there's only one of them here. And I'm the bald toad. And Anto, what do you think is going to be on the sci-fi list?
Well, you know, I'd be really shocked if the very niche arcade game for Alien vs. Predator made by Capcom in the early 90s didn't make it on the list.
That totally should be on that list. I hope it's on there.
Yeah. No, I mean, realistically, let's look at this. Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Space Invaders has earned
Best
more money.
sci-fi game of all time.
More money than all of them put together.
True.
Like who can forget that classic scene where it goes
beep, 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 but then it went beep, beep.
But then sometimes the UFO comes across something and goes you have to hit it, you go beep, and you miss and you go
Then you start again.
What are we doing?
Sci-fi games, I think.
Sci-fi games. Very little known facts. Sci-fi actually stands for science Wi-Fi. That's where Wi-Fi actually comes from. And Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. And fidelity is actually sexy time. So we're actually having science sex.
We're going to have quiz on your face as well.
Science sex, told you. Floppy.
Yes, mate.
What else can people do over at hackthedino.com?
You can listen to podcasts.
Yep.
You can click on those little links, take you to Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and the U of the Tubes.
What else can you sign up for?
You can sign up for a newsletter written by Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Which potentially one coming out with the details from the collecting of the Nesses.
That's right.
You can buy merchandise.
You can.
You can buy...
I really need to make some more merchandise.
Mugs.
Oh, this water tastes so much better.
Anything tastes better out of a Hack the Dino mug.
I'm having an orgasm. Sorry, no, that's an organism. There was an organism in my cup.
Yeah, it was a bug. You can buy stickers, you can buy T-shirts if you wish, hoodies, whatever floats your boat. What else can you do there, Ben?
You can send us an email complaining about the content of this ad.
Yes.
But you can also follow us on twitch.tv/hackthedino, youtube.com/hackthedino, or all podcast caps around the world. Thank you. I
listen to it every day.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I do it along on my steering wheel when I do it. So that was a nod to Kind of Funny Games and the Kind of Funny Games Daily, where they like to say an old podcast services around the world.
And finally, you can tell your friends. That's right. You can let your friends know that you listen or watch to this horrible show and go, you should listen to these jerks. They give you ear cancer. All right, we probably won't. Probably. I can't make any guarantees. But tell your friends. We're good people.
Yeah.
They should watch our show and laugh along with our hijinks, because it's all in good faith.
You know what else they could hear about when they join?
What could they hear about? What was that?
$20 Retro Challenge.
$20 Retro Challenge. Pew, 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 pew. It's time for an update. So if you want to follow along the $20 Retro Challenge, head on over to our Instagram or our TikTok, which you can do through hackthedino.com.
Still can't believe I'm part of something that has TikTok.
It's doing really well over there. So, explain the rules. At the start of the year, we all went out. We were given $20 each to buy anything 2008 or earlier and to sell that on. We could buy as many things as we wanted. They just had to come under that $20. Those items we then sold on and used that money to buy other things, blah, 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 snowball effect. End of the year, we're going to have our items for voting. The Hackadactyls will be voting on who wins the $20 Retro Challenge at the end of the year.
But who has the coolest
Who has
thing
the coolest thing and who deserves to be the $20 Retro Challenge winner. So a bit of an update from previous episodes where we gave an update. I have more Star Wars collectibles from the 90s for sale. Some little miniature figurines that came out with Pizza Hut from the special edition release. Mm-hmm. And some Micro Machines pod racers, which Anto saw and had a nostalgic flashback as soon as he held them in his hands. And I went, well, you want them? You want to sell them? You want to buy them from me?
Why not? You've already sold me again. Which I got home and realised I already had.
Oh, really? No! Well, you can sell that now.
Yeah, I'm going to sell it for more just to stick it to you. Or you can give me my $10 back. You can have the game and you can sell it.
I've also got Simpsons Road Rage, which I picked up for $5. Hopefully we'll move that on for a little bit more than that. And some Robotech figures, which I'm a little worried about because I paid $25 each for them.
Which is a very good price if you're collecting them.
Yeah. So
excellent price.
Yeah. In order to resell them, if I'm at the stage where if I can make $5 on the figure, I'd be happy. I'm hoping at the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair, there's going to be a Robotech collector there who's going to want these carded figures, and I'll be able to sell them.
It probably will be.
But yeah, I ended up selling the Gizmo and the Starfighter for $40.
Braden has sold...
Just quickly, I'm on $227 from my initial $20. Continue.
Braden has sold their Sonic comic for $20.
Yep.
What, for $5?
Yep.
They're aiming to have about $100 ready for the Comic and Toy Fair.
I don't like their chances, but anyway, we'll talk about that next week. I've
had no change, and I believe Anto's had no change.
Yeah, I'm still trying to sell my stuff.
Next episode, Braden's going to be here.
Ah, cool.
So we'll be able to question Braden then how they intend to get $100 for the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair. We should do a mini
Nefariously.
live. You know what we should do?
A mini live hunt?
Yes, a live stream from the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair.
All right.
We will do that. I don't know who will watch because everyone who watches this channel will probably be there, but that's okay.
Correct.
We'll do it anyway. Floppy?
Yes, mate.
What have you been doing lately with your research?
My research, so I have...
very few people know that Floppy's actually studying to get a doctorate in video game lore and history.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
That's Floppy's job.
Dr. Floppy.
We've kept it a quiet for how long you been on the show? 4 years?
About 4 years now.
4 years. We weren't allowed to say anything, but Floppy's getting near the end. He's going to be a doctor of gaming history very, very soon.
Dr. Floppy.
Yep. So Floppy PhD is coming for you.
It's a dual PhD. It's doctor of gaming history and doctor of love.
And that's how you have to say it.
Yeah, it's literally in your... That's the first thing you learn when you do your PhD in love.
Dr. Love.
If that was a legit course, I would do it.
Yeah, same.
Mate, if that was a legit course...
Hey, what are you talking about, legit course? He's Dr. Floppy.
If that was a legit course, I'd be teaching
everybody.
But it only goes for about 2 minutes. You're disappointed afterwards. Floppy, what have you been...
So we all know that I've been playing some sci-fi games. I enjoy sci-fi games. I just oh my God, English.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Yep, now it's my turn. I have decided to do a top 10 sci-fi games list. Now, I did this a little differently to what I would usually do if I did a top 10 list. Mm-hmm. Usually I would just do my favorite 10 things.
Yep.
I decided to put a little bit more effort into it, and I went through about 10 to 12 sites that have top 10 sci-fi games of all time. And I started recording what games popped up on them.
Watch Mojo.
No, I didn't do Watch Mojo.
What culture gaming?
I didn't do any YouTube channels. I did no YouTube channels. But I went through and I listed off what games were appeared on them, and then I would go through about 10 or 12 sites and mark off how many times they reappeared.
As I said in the Discord, I am still so dirty that the original Space Invaders isn't in this list.
It's not a very good sci-fi game. It is an iconic game, but all you do is shoot little aliens that come down. Like that's
Sci-fi. It's still sci-fi.
Oh no, 100%
Still
agree
has
with
earned
you.
more money than all these games.
I agree with you. Doesn't make it the
Ridiculous.
best sci-fi game. Makes it a very iconic sci-fi game.
It's. I will play that game over any other
Anyway.
crappy sci-fi game you got.
These are the 10 games that I have come up with. Now, there were some ties. In the moments that there was a tie, went with the one I liked the best.
I like the way you're being so honest. Like,
Yeah.
You can just go, these are my games. Eat it.
Yeah.
Don't like it? Turn off. Please don't turn off.
No. Not at least until the end. Then turn off. All right. All Space Invaders Townsy says isn't science fiction, it's science fact.
Well,
Nice one. All right, top 10 sci-fi games. Number 10, Titanfall 2.
Titanfall.
Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2. So the original Titanfall presented players with a unique first-person multiplayer shooter, putting high-powered mechs at the forefront of battle. It was only a multiplayer shooter, though. There was no story. It wasn't the perfect shooter, and there was plenty for Respawn Entertainment to build upon, which it did in this sequel. Gear up, step into a very latest in Titan technology in a fast-paced shooter that spans a good multiplayer and an exceptional single-player experience. It's not just about the Titan-on-Titan combat. As a player, you start off as a pilot equipped with the latest in handheld firepower. Firepower. When it's time to amp up the firepower, pilots can call upon Titans that they literally come crashing down. It's amazing. And you feel the weight as they hit the ground. Then you get in that bad boy and destroy some stuff.
Yeah.
Each Titan is outfitted with enough firepower to take on opposing pilots. That is until they step into their own oversized mech. Titanfall 2 is all about the adrenaline of the firefight, even during the story-based single-player mode that follows a rifleman and his Titan, BT, as they attempt to escape the enemy clutches. This thing is amazing. It has one of the best single-player campaigns in a sci-fi shooter. It just does. Has excellent little puzzle sections that you have, including like a time displacement puzzle, which is amazing. Great ability to jump out and fight alongside your Titan at any point.
That's cool.
And he then fights autonomously next to you, like providing cover and doing stuff like an AI comrade. But then you can jump inside of him and just like bring the rain. Have you played this?
No,
of course
I've
you
not
haven't.
played. Oh!
It's not Nintendo. Anto, have you played this?
I didn't think you were going to call on me for some reason.
Have you played this though?
I haven't played Titanfall 2. I played the first one because I was a big fan of, I think Titanfall 1 was Infinity Ward before they became Respawn. And they were the guys behind Modern Warfare 2 and other stuff. And I really liked, in, the time frame we're talking about, like 2010 to 2012 or something.
Yeah.
I really liked the gunplay and the feel of like Modern Warfare 2 and stuff. So this, because it was mechs and futuristic combat, made me go, that looks really cool and interesting. I'm going to give it a go. Phenomenal in terms of gameplay. Like, again, the first one wasn't much, but the gameplay that they carried over to this, I will only assume is even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you get wall running, jetpacks, all sorts of cool maneuvers, like, as well as Titan combat. This would be a great time.
Yeah, look, the wall running and stuff like that, the traversal that you have when you're outside of your mech is phenomenal, as well as the ability to upgrade your mech and use some different weapons and switch between them and stuff like that. Oh, Ben's cracking the poops because I told him he didn't play games.
It's like Apex, but not
awful.
according to
Yeah,
Townsy,
true.
Which is a good way to put it.
Titanfall 2 is also a relatively cheap game to pick up physically if you see it lying around. You'll see it at Cashies, you'll see it at places like EB Games, things like that, and it'll be in a bargain bin.
I think recently as well, the developers have actually fixed a problem which was preventing online play. So it's actually back up and running now, I think.
Awesome.
So people want to jump in, I'd be keen to give it a go.
I walked off to try and find a joke, but couldn't.
Instead, you came back and found? I just assumed you found one. Would you like to read the second one?
Yeah, sure. Number 9, XCOM 2. I hate XCOM games because I suck at them.
Yeah, there's a bit. I mean, you got to admit what they are. They're good though.
Oh, absolutely. When extraterrestrials threaten the planet, there is only one organization that can fight back. police. XCOM 2 pits players in the role of the commander of the titular military organization. Though the aliens have all but wiped out humanity, I wish, XCOM is still functional and finding new and what the hell? Unique ways to fight back. That often means bringing the fight to them. The turn-based tactical gameplay is some of the most stressful entertainment gaming has to offer. Every move must be calculated to prevent not just failing the mission, but also losing any of your squad. XCOM 2 is unforgiving, and the soldiers you've spent hours building up can fall in battle, never to be usable again.
I like that, as much as it stresses me out.
Because well, see, this is why you just don't form any kind of attachment to anyone ever. And that way you die alone and happy.
That explains a lot.
It adds an extra layer of thought as you prepare for each fight, research new alien tech, and ally yourself with surviving nations to save Earth once and for all. Until, XCOM 3.
So this gives me real vibes like the old similar to things that I used to get from Command and Conquer and Warcraft and Age of Empires and stuff like that. But with that sci-fi feel. I even actually enjoyed the third-person shooter that came out for this called XCOM The Bureau.
The Bureau?
Yeah, it was made like a story and kind of like a... Townsy's actually almost hit it on there. It's like Fire Emblem meets X-Files. It's true. It was a third-person shooter set in sort of like a 1950s, and like you were like the Men in Black, essentially, for a government without all the cool tech.
The good guys dress in black, remember that.
In case you have a face-to-face and make contact.
The title held by me, MIB.
It means what you think you saw, you did not see.
Hi, we're old.
We are lame. Yeah. That was number 7. Number 8 is something that we have already touched on today, is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. A list of sci-fi games is nothing without one of the most absolute, easily recognizable franchises of the genre being Star Wars. Like, you can't have a sci-fi list of anything without having a Star Wars thing in there, I reckon.
Or Space Invaders.
Or Space. So while there are a lot of Star Wars games, and many of them have something going for them, Knights of the Old Republic, Force Unleashed, Battlefront, Rogue Squadron,
Dark Forces,
they do look and feel their age.
Bounty Hunter.
No. Bounty Hunter doesn't get on this list. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is just incredibly modern with its lush looks and a Dark Souls light style combat. Being a Jedi has simply never felt as fluid or satisfying, and the story works even if you haven't studied Star Wars lore for like decades. You don't need to have known anything about Star Wars, to be honest. Most people know what a Jedi is. Jedi good, Sith bad.
Are they though?
Well,
pretty arrogant.
The way that they've been told is, despite what seems to be popular opinion, I think it has one of the best maps in gaming next to 2016's Doom. I see a lot of people complaining about the map. I don't understand it because I thought it was like one of the best maps I've ever used. It has like a 3D map that you can then zoom around and move in and out of, and it shows you where you've been, where you haven't been, things you've seen but haven't visited yet. Like, it was amazing. The only thing you couldn't do was set waypoints, which I thought was silly. But yeah, and it's just like cool character, Cal Kestis, cool lightsaber, which I can't wait for them to make a replica of. Cool traversal and puzzle, like Tomb Raider style puzzle sort of traversal areas, and awesome combat, cool villains. What can I say?
It's like the sigh in the middle there.
Yeah, I'm just like it's awesome playing it. Play it.
I like the scale. Like the scene we're looking at here with Cal climbing up a rope, and there's just this massive wrecked ship in the background.
I thought you said erection.
Just going to bring us off that topic quickly. I have a question for you two Star Wars nerds.
Sure.
Oh, yeah?
What Star Wars content should someone consume before playing this if they want more information on Cal?
Clone Wars.
Well, no, nothing. This is what he comes from.
Oh, okay, cool.
He comes from here. I reckon he will rock up in
Obi-Wan?
something like Obi-Wan or The Mandalorian or something like that soon. But he hasn't. Cal has appeared in this and this alone. As far to all my knowledge, the best of my knowledge,
at the Game Awards,
and at the Game Awards,
Awards.
Rocked up in Shameless too,
and tried to kill Bruce Wayne. So that's not cool.
But yeah, just play this game. Like, it's just great standalone adventure. You don't have to know anything Star Wars really.
And had we told you about it a month earlier, you could have got it for free on PlayStation Plus.
In fact, if you have PlayStation Plus and just download your games anyway.
I made sure to do that because I do want to go back and play this.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It is probably the closest I'll ever get to playing Dark Souls. In the fact that you revisit areas once you've upgraded your abilities and things like that, and can do more in places that you've been before.
Do more.
Do more.
Do more.
It's great. Love it. Do you want to do number 7?
Sure. I'll rock out with my 7 out.
Wow.
Halo 2, Halo Combat Evolved, was a revolutionary shooter that introduced players to an intergalactic war between humans and the Covenant.
Covenant.
Jesus. Halo 2, what is wrong with us tonight?
I don't. I know. I'm tired. I don't know.
Yeah, you have an excuse. I don't know what mine is. Well, actually, Anto was on his way here, and I was running behind schedule setting up the stream because I fell asleep on my couch. Because I'm
Wish
an
I did.
old man. Halo 2 continued this conflict, keeping the Spartan 2 commando, Master Chief, at the center of the action. Rather than ally himself with faceless Marines who serve as fodder for the Covenant, Master Chief is joined by Covenant Elite. Huh? That should be shame for the human success of Halo.
Covenant Elite, the Arbiter?
The Arbiter, yeah.
See.
Sort of like the antagonist from the first one. Well, kind of.
The two round out a thoroughly enjoyable narrative that builds upon Halo's lore while retaining much of what players loved about the original. Halo 2 was a fast-paced shooter through and through, thriving not just on a fun story but also a world-class multiplayer that people will rave about today. Oh, I really need to slow down. Whether battling against hundreds of the Covenant, throwing sticky grenades on the frantic grunts, or taking on a team of human-controlled Spartans, Halo 2 has given us plenty of great gaming memories. Halo 2 went on to spawn plenty of sequels and spin-offs, but it's hard to deny that this was the pinnacle of the series and one of the best sci-fi games ever made.
So I only ever played this for the first time. I think it was last year. It might have been the year before. Because I growing up, I didn't have Xboxes and stuff like this. This was what, early 2000s?
But you're their biggest fan.
Yeah, apparently. This thing, it holds up so well as an older shooter, like for a modern day audience. The story is cool. Like, it just doesn't get old the way that they've written it. It's not. It's essentially timeless. It's just so much fun. It gets you excited. You get on the edge of your seat.
I mean, a while back, I was gifted an original Xbox with Halo, the first one on there. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sit down and play this.
Did you play it?
I did.
It's so good, isn't it?
It really holds up.
Yeah,
really
it
holds
really,
up.
really
Really
does.
good game. Much like playing Metroid Prime. Like, it's not as good as Metroid Prime, but much like that, the level design and the logical thinking that went into the design is exceptional.
Yeah.
It gives really good... Like, that first level in Halo is some of the best storytelling that you will find to set up the world, set up the character. Just an exceptionally good game.
You want to talk about setting up like worlds and characters. So in this one, the Arbiter, which was the sort of the, like, I guess they were like a general or like a sergeant.
The Arbiter was like part of the elite operatives
For the Covenant.
for the end of Halo 1. He was taken down by the Chief but not killed,
Because he didn't kill Master Chief.
and then punished and branded a heretic.
And then kind of teams up with Master Chief. And you get to play levels as the Arbiter. It's so good. Like, it takes that original story and like twists the gameplay and twists the storytelling. It's really awesome. So yeah, definitely give number 2 a go. I was talking to a friend of the show, V, the other day, big Halo fan. Pretty sure it was this one that introduced dual wielding.
Yep.
Yeah, great time.
So next time I
Needless,
see you, I'll
baby.
just go, Halo 5.
Oh, God. But needless. A couple of needless. Number 6 on the best sci-fi games ever, Starcraft II. There's a lot of sequels in this, I noticed when I was actually going through and getting videos for these. So, like, they've obviously got great games and then built on those great games to make the better sequels.
Generally, the sequels of games are better because
Generally.
like, there's been a few exceptions, like
Other things. Though StarCraft II released in 3 separate campaigns, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void, when combined together, the trio make an action-packed huge dramatic story. Picking up 4 years after the events of the Brood War expansion, all is not well in the universe. Sarah Kerrigan is still the Queen of Blades, overseeing the Zerg swarm. Jim Raynor has turned on the Dominion and formed a band of revolutionaries. And the Protoss are, doing weird Protoss things, because they're a bit odd. The trio of campaigns all have at least one thing in common, gameplay that is remarkably improved over the original StarCraft. And with a 12-year gap between the two games, you would hope so. 12 years between the original and a sequel.
That's
It's
crazy.
a long time.
That's like Blade Runner and Blade Runner 20 whatever.
2042, yeah.
I want to watch that again.
I still haven't seen 2042.
That's a good film.
Oh, I will.
Good film.
StarCraft II follows the same RTS setup, but gives players control over more at one time. It allows them to mount massive attacks or set up like a really strong defense without having to micromanage single units. New units, new locations, and new hero characters provide a much bigger experience than the 1998 RTS. 1998 was the first one.
I miss the 90s.
Blizzard's storytelling is at its peak for Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, though the quality does taper off at the end. Regardless, StarCraft II is a mostly consistent RTS that is very much well worth the wait of the 12 years for the sequel and to play today. Did you ever play StarCraft?
No,
Did you ever play any RTSs?
No, I'm not an RTS person.
Anto, you would have had your hands on some RTSs at some point. Really?
So we got a PC for the first time as a family in, I think, 1997 or 8. So we're talking, sort of early to mid, like, the PC gaming sort of
When
buzz.
it started to really
When it started to get, really
486,
consumer-friendly to build your
486.
own and stuff. I think the only thing I played on the PC we got when I was younger was Motocross Madness 2,
Okay.
the PC port of Final Fantasy VII, Abe's Odyssey,
And Captain Cosmic.
and then I got like a Dreamcast and other stuff, so I didn't bother playing anything
You played
on
Captain
PC ever
Cosmic?
again.
Don't know.
All I know about StarCraft II is the term Zerg Rush, because it's a tactic that people use to just overwhelm other people in multiplayer. That's
Yeah.
basically the limit of my knowledge.
Yeah. Look, it is similar to things like the Command and Conquers, your Age of Empires, Dune 2, which was the first RTS I played. Cool sci-fi game. But not enough people knew about it. But yeah, it just took sort of storytelling and theatrics to the next level. It's just awesome. And still worth playing today, it's on this list because it's still worth playing today. But yeah. Number 5, Ben?
Definitely worth playing today. Possibly the best game ever made. Possibly.
Ooh, it definitely one of.
I'm talking about Portal 2. Some ideas are just perfect for games, and Portal 2's teleportation gun testing facility was just great for a plethora of challenging puzzles. The variety Valve came up with is still astounding, and since then, the game's community has added so much value to Portal 2 in form of additional levels and fan games or fan levels.
Fan-made content.
Portal 2 is also one of the few puzzles that doesn't skimp on a really fun story, complete with great voice acting, and it is. Simply put,
Merchant?
yes, Stephen
Yep.
Merchant.
Yeah.
Simply put, this is timeless, and by now the Portal gun has become a piece of pop culture history.
And it has, you can buy replicas of the portal gun. That's cool.
Yep. You can also buy plushy turrets that talk to you.
Yeah,
Anto.
you've got one.
Well, I don't anymore.
Oh, really?
Anto has one.
Of course.
Thank you for spoiling the surprise for Coda later.
Shit.
Yeah, bad people.
It's okay. She's probably asleep.
One of the coolest things I've seen is someone had the oval mirrors in a hallway with LEDs behind them, one orange, one blue. So when you look through them, you would see like you would in Portal in the game, like you would see through. It was awesome. That sort of never-ending. What do they call them? Infinite.
What I like is the writing is so clever and so witty and so funny. Yeah, great game. Great game.
Excellent game. And if you have never played it, please give it a shot. It is just... It's so worthwhile your time and effort.
What do you reckon we get first, Portal 3 or Half-Life 3?
I don't think we're ever getting a Portal 3.
Neither.
Oh, really?
Valve hate the number 3. It's never going to happen.
Oh,
It's true.
Why do
Like-
they hate 3? Just release 4 then.
I mean, you could argue that Half-Life Alyx is technically, Half-Life
The
3,
third.
but
Prequel. No, it's a prequel.
All right. Number 4. Number 4 on the best sci-fi games you need to play. One of my favorites. I spent so many hours on this game. I even played multiplayer online with people with this.
Ugh, yuck.
And one of the few games that I love the music on. I even had one of the songs from the start of the game as a ringtone for a while. And that is for
Space Invaders. Oh.
Borderlands 2. So after opening the vault in the original Borderlands, players unknowingly changed the course of Pandora's existence. Pandora being the planet that you were fighting on.
That's where the Avatar are as well.
Yeah, sure. Seeing an opportunity to move in and use the newfound material Iridium, which is very, very cool and looks real pretty in purple, to create a false sense of peace in the hostile planet, Handsome Jack, what a charismatic man,
Great name.
seats himself in a position of power. Though he has remained mostly unopposed, rumours of a larger vault draw the attention of a whole new band of vault hunters that will get caught up in the revolution against his tyrannical rule. Vault hunters being the people that you play. You get to choose from 4 different classes. There's generally a big tank type person. There's generally a stealth based person, a commando style, and then an elemental. So, your generic sort of classes, but they are just such cool characters and are written with awesome personalities that they stand out so much. As one of these new hunters, players return to Pandora and other locations to locate the vault and bring down Handsome Jack. Borderlands 2 is much like its predecessor, but follows the mantra that more is better. And in this case, it certainly works. And they literally had on the back of the game car literally said a bajillion guns.
Yeah, isn't one of this gun shoots a gun? Or
So
the knife gun shoots knives or something like that?
There is things like when every time you change magazines, you'll throw another one that'll explode and then throw acid on people. And there is just so many. It's one of the few games where I don't just pick a gun I like and stay with it. I'm consistently changing guns all the time to different effects because there are people that get affected by fire or affected by acid or anything like that. And so you're constantly going through and changing them. You've got special abilities that you can level up. It's just so awesome. The new band of hunters differ from those featured in the original Borderlands, but those players that you could have had now are NPCs and you interact with them.
Nice.
From the first game. You have a reason to be excited. Once again, get lost in the chaotic action of Gearbox Software's first-person shooter. Please do it. It's amazing. This cell-shaded graphics look phenomenal too. All right. Do you want to do this one?
Okay, sure. Dead Space 1 to 3, all of them, all together, all
of them.
A good
You've heard
time.
me talk about Dead Space enough, so Ben can.
Okay, I'll be reading Floppy's words. The original Dead Space was a big hit with players for its perfect mixture of survival horror and action. While the sequels leaned heavier into the action side of things, the trilogy still holds up as one of the best sci-fi games series ever made. The claustrophobic corridors, shadowy areas, and screeching and scurrying of countless necromorphs in the dark make the original trilogy a nail-biting experience. Probably paying it wrong if you're biting your nails. The experience has certainly benefited from modern gaming technology with the remake. The sounds of screaming, blood splattering, and guts squishing were all truly disturbing staples of Dead Space. Adding to the unsettling gameplay sounds, the trilogy also introduced a unique battle tactic of the player. Dismember the enemy until they are dead.
Yeah, you have to shoot off their legs and arms first.
Awesome.
To stop them.
The plasma clutter. There's just so much plasma around here. The plasma cutter, Isaac Clarke's preferred weapon, emits a satisfying impact blast with each pull of the trigger. The game mechanic of dismemberment sees limbs of necromorphs being severed, guts spilled onto the floor, and Isaac Clarke constantly fighting for his life. By incorporating 7.1 surround sound, 4K, modern controls, and minimal HUD, it feels like the gamer is right in the middle of the tense and frightening combat.
That's for the remake, of course. But yeah.
Of course. But yeah, overall, yay. And don't forget, you can play the Dead Space guy in Fortnite right now.
You can. Look, if you have the original player, if you have the opportunity to get the remake, do it. It's the same story. It is being improved. Not that there was anything wrong with the original one. It's just we have better technology and can make it even more amazing.
Tweaking.
I was actually going to ask, you finished this, right?
The remake or the original?
Both.
Haven't finished the remake yet.
Okay.
The original, a long time ago.
If you had to put a percentage on how far of the way through the game you are, what would you say?
On the remake?
Yeah.
30% maybe?
Oh, okay.
I got stuck on Last of Us Part 1.
Okay. In the 30% or so of the game that you've played so far, are there any, like, major differences from the original to this?
I mean, there are things like he talks.
I know there's, like, the mechanic where, like, if you stomp on enemies or just stomp repeatedly, Isaac starts going, "Die, mother fucking nah!"
I haven't
Language?
I haven't
goodness.
stomped repeatedly. So you stomp. What you do is you take them down by shooting off their limbs, and then when you stomp on them, it's kind of like a finishing move, and that's how you get ammo drops and stuff.
I'm with this one. I'm trying to figure out if there's enough difference for me to give this a go as far as the remake is concerned, because I've played the original so many times.
Mate, just borrow it off me and then see what you think.
Okay, when you're done
or
with
just
it,
come over and have a look. All right, number 2. We're getting to the top of the list. Number 2. I have cheated a bit and put series in here, as you see by Dead Space
It's your
1 to
list.
3.
Do whatever you want. But put Space Invaders in it, apparently.
Bioshock 1 to 3. So Bioshock is a classic among the sci-fi games with an alternate
Don't ruin the ending. by the way.
timeline. What?
I
For
still
once,
don't know the twist to this.
you're not going into space, but deep underwater in order to explore Rapture or the lofty heights of the steampunk city Columbia in Bioshock Infinite, a city that ate itself. The series is thrilling, from battles with mutated drug addicts to consistently dark, surprising story that stands among the best for the shooter genre. While it's not for the faint of heart, no one's ever made such an intriguing mix of philosophy and horror before or since. I think is a fair call to say. What do you reckon?
I think that's a pretty fair statement.
Yeah, Little Sisters, Big Daddies, plasmids, weapons, abilities, Art Deco design, atmospheric scenes culminate in a feast for fans of sci-fi, horror, first-person shooters alike. I love this series, not just for how it plays, but for what it looks like. I love the Art Deco design. I love the idea of taking and making a utopian world underwater, away from the rest of the world, which goes to shit.
Yeah.
The voice of Andrew Ryan was met by Michael Towns. That's amazing. I love the world that he created. I love the ability to have plasmids, which is made from a thing called Eve.
Adam and Eve was the stuff you used to top up your resources
That's
to
right.
shoot abilities and lightning.
It is just such a good story to be a part of and to play along with.
It's just, there's something about the original Bioshock. Like, 2 was good, not quite as good as the first, and then Infinite was probably equally as good, if not maybe a little bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that tips me towards the first one the most is the art design.
Yeah.
I love that art
The
design.
first is iconic. Like, just the opening, seeing the dark tower in the middle of the ocean, and you make your way in, and just all of a
having
sudden you're
elevator.
underwater. It's such a good opening of a video game.
So have you ever played this?
I've never played this, and we're running out of time, so I won't play it now.
Cool. All right, so we'll have some honourable mentions before I go to the number 1. Honourable mentions, I've got Fortnite in there, because you're right, Ben, it is a sci-fi game.
It is.
I didn't put it into one of the big ones because it doesn't have your typical storyline.
There's an ongoing storyline.
Yeah.
But I mean, even that's sort of
But it's really easy to miss if you don't sit there and watch it all the time.
Yep.
So Fortnite's in there. Great sci-fi game. Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Excellent game. Excellent game. It talks about the modding oneself and sort of the morals around, what do they call it? And augmenting your body.
Yeah, like human modification and stuff.
Yep. Doom for its amazing, fast-paced first-person shooter, excellent levels, wicked music. Stellaris I've got in there, which appeared mentioned. I haven't played Stellaris, but it's appeared on a lot of lists, so I put it in there. As an honourable mention, The Outer Worlds, a relatively modern game. Vanquish, Anto, was something that Anto brought to my attention, which I'd forgotten about, with a really cool sliding mechanic. That was awesome. Time Splitters.
Just quickly, I've recently learned there's a tag team wrestling team in Japan called the Time Splitters, and their whole gimmick is that they're time travelers.
That's hilarious.
That's great. Any of the Metroid games, because what a cool story and what a cool protagonist. Space Quest 2, by far the best of the Space Quest games if you want a Spaceballs-esque type video game. And there's so many more. Alien Isolation, which I've talked about a billion times. Pardon?
Metal Gear Rising is
Metal Gear Rising.
my throw in.
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders for Ben, because nobody else cares but Ben. But the number one sci-fi game / series that you should play if you're a fan, and let's face it, you probably have, is Mass Effect. So Mass Effect 1 to 3. I've put down there. Don't worry about Andromeda. The list couldn't hope to be complete without the Mass Effect series. The famous trilogy takes place in a galaxy filled with alien civilizations, highly advanced technology, and more respect for physics than you'd expect in a video game.
Yep.
The series follows Commander Shepard, the first human special agent of a galactic government, which I thought at the time was wonderful that you could make female, male. You had the choice over how you played that character.
Female Shep for life.
FemShep is best Shep.
FemShep is best. You should get that as a t-shirt. A threat that the Council refuses to acknowledge until it's too late, idiots. One of the biggest draws of the series is that your choices as Shepard have super far-reaching consequences, and many play out later in the trilogy, so your choices carry on through all the games.
You got to watch who you bonk.
Phenomenal.
You do have to watch
in
who you
2020,
bonk
the
for
games
certain
received a Legendary Edition on the PS4 and Xbox One, bringing all the games together, improving the slightly dated graphics, smoothing over the appearance, reducing the amount of butts, and choice import process. It's certainly the definitive way to enjoy that series is on the PS4 or Xbox One. Anto, you're a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
What would you like to add to
I
this?
almost
In
died
30
on my
seconds.
own oxygen. What was the question?
30 seconds. Why do you think this is number one?
It's number one because the characters, plot, relationships between the characters, gunplay, abilities, variations in player choice as far as how you build your character's skill sets. The music is phenomenal.
We just don't talk about the driving.
It's just fantastic. No, the Mako's great. Anyone who argues against it just doesn't like fun.
And what other game do you get to have the sexy times with the blue lady?
Yeah, and that.
Avatar?
I was going to say something else about Mass Effect, and I've just completely forgotten what it was because you gave me a 30-second time limit.
That's right.
That's right. That is my top 10 sci-fi games. If there's any on there that you haven't played, probably should.
Oh, Mass Effect's better than Star Wars.
And if you'd like to play Mass Effect, you may find yourself playing another game called Quiz on Your Face.
You're wrong, Anto.
With that blue lady. With the blue lady quizzing on the face.
Quiz on your face.
You're ready for quiz? Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, whatever. I'm tired. I've got 4 questions here for multiple choice. I'll ask a question. I'll give the possible answers. Yell. Yep. You know how it goes. Good.
Yep.
What's the score? Don't know.
You are done, aren't
Floppy
you, mate?
winning on 4. Braden on 2. Jazz on 1. Anto on 1. Anto, the reigning champ. Not doing too well. Not doing too
Dylan's
flush.
very confident in his question choice.
Well, let's right now find out what Dylan the Villain, Patreon supporter Dylan the Villain, has sent in for us this week. Dylan the Villain asks, he's a little rascal. When Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon was released,
Crap.
the hackers that tried to hack the game found the code to be so complex that A, they thanked the devs for giving them such a challenge, B, released several different versions because they didn't know which one would work, C, had to call in outside help to successfully hack it, or D, gave up because it was too hard and gave the job to someone else. Now you have to wait until I'm finished
Damn it.
asking the questions.
I didn't know if that rule was still in effect or not.
Of course it is.
Floppy.
Floppy?
Damn it.
I have no idea, but I know that Anto does because Anto and Coda are massive Spyro fans.
Yep, so which one?
D.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Anto?
B.
Incorrect.
What?
A. They thanked the devs for giving them such a challenge. So Dylan,
Wow.
in the live chat, not only did you stump them, you stumped Spyro fans. Well done.
Hey, I'm not the one who's got Spyro tattooed on me. Coda is.
Well. Good.
Well done,
Because
Dylan.
tattoos are evil. They come alive at night and they steal your puppies.
Dylan, I'm
I've seen
still
it
like
happen.
20-2. It's fine.
Next question. This is modern news. This is our new modern news segment that will only be for this question and this question only.
What?
Okay.
2 Marines defeated the AI detection system of a military robot by
Anto.
A.
Oh, come on. I already know the answer.
A, shooting it. B, reasoning with it. C, romancing it. Or D, hiding in a cardboard
Anto.
box and wading right up to it.
Anto.
Floppy?
Do it. Don't
No,
be a dick,
Floppy.
Give it to him.
If he's going to abuse the rules, I'm going to abuse my
A.
status. A, you did that on purpose.
I know.
D.
Sorry, both are incorrect. Moving on. Michael Towns.
Don't be mean, Ben.
Well, he needs to pay attention to the rules. I'm trying to read and he goes,
Hey, I am not a typical English person.
That's right.
No, you're much more insulting. Townsy, in the Stanley Parable, there is a choice which involves a cutout of a baby on a conveyor belt leading to fire.
Ooh.
With a button in front, reset the baby's position. To reach one of the many, many endings, you're instructed to press that button consistently for how long? A, 2 hours. B, 3 hours. C, 5 hours. That messed with my head so bad then. And D, 4 hours.
Floppy.
Floppy?
4 hours.
Correct!
I had no idea. That would have been a guess from me.
I want to say I may have heard that with in a conversation with Townsy.
I asked Townsy, I said, how did you know this? Did you actually do it? He goes, no, I tried to do it. And then after about 20 minutes, I went, nah, YouTube.
I reckon it was with Townsy that I had a conversation that has come up with, like, at one of the fair at some point. But that is a weird fact to remember.
Here we go. Last question. Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell also founded what company? A, Chuck E. Cheese. B, Wendy's. C, Dunkin' Donuts. Or D, Five Guys.
Floppy.
Floppy.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Incorrect. Anto.
I'm going to say Chuck E. Cheese.
You are correct. You get a point because you obeyed the rules.
Floppy didn't, so he should have a point taken away.
Sorry?
Floppy didn't. He put his name out before you finished.
Sorry, what was that?
No, it's fine.
So are
if
you
we're
arguing?
just going to abuse the rules for one person and not
You're right.
award points.
You're right. I should abuse the rules.
Anto,
So
treat
Anto's on
treat
one.
this like you're in North Korea. You just don't argue.
You can
North
argue.
Korea.
But
Yeah.
so at the end of that round, Floppy's on 5, Braden's on 2, Jazz is on 1, and Anto's on 1.
Buddy.
But we've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast where we bring you the past, present, and future of video games. But this isn't all we do. Firstly, we like to thank our Patreons because we forget every other week.
We do.
Floppy.
Yes, mate.
Would you like to flank them?
I would-
Quick! They're going on a mission! Flank them! Flank them!
Oh, thank you.
Flank them!
Thank you to Ash Knight, Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indie, Mike Towns, and Game Boy Dan.
Game Boy Dan.
Thank you. Without you guys, we couldn't do what we do.
And if you go to hackthedino.com and click on the Patreon link or patreon.com/hackthedino, you can get your name scrolling down the bottom there. You can get a special thank you. You can get an ad, a wonderful live ad put on the show. There's so much more. You can get an extra bonus show where we are a lot more energetic than this. Or probably not this month, but next
Sometimes
month.
less.
We're going to do D and Dino again. We'll do that next time.
Yep. All right.
Next time, if Floppy survives his shake of doom.
I'm good.
But we do other things as well. Floppy, what do you do?
I am on Instagram. It's a little handle called Floppy Plays Games, where I take photos of things that I've bought, things that I own, and things that I'm playing, and share them. This is one of my latest little pickup things, which was really cool. I got the collector's edition for Tearaway on the PS4. I got Alone in the Dark on the Dreamcast with the most over-engineered cases in those Dreamcast games.
Yeah, they're
I
great.
love them, but they're weird.
Yeah.
A Boy and His Blob.
Yeah, I got that for $5.
You did. And one of my childhood favourite games, Spider-Man on the PS1. Love that game to death. I eventually, on my original save file, which I've got to dig through my memory cards and see if I've still got it, got all the comics, unlocked all the outfits, just,
Nice.
played it to death. That was one of those things when I had, 4 games.
Yeah, and you just had to keep
Yeah,
on
so
playing.
that was what did I have before that, Anto? I reckon there was something else new. Oh, I catalogued my entire PS2 collection.
Oh, God.
No, I have more than I thought. There's like, you don't have to sit there and go through every photo, but I put them up there because I was like, I didn't think I had so much PS2
right.
stuff. I had it all in they were behind each other. There's some cool titles in there. There's some cases I'd like to replace, but hey.
Well, you've got a double of that game that you bought off me. That you
Freaking Scarface.
Oh, Vampire Knight. I wonder who you bought that from.
Cool guy. Just from a cool guy.
Anto, what do you do?
I'm not going to bother showing mine because nothing's changed on it again.
Cool.
In 2 weeks.
But where can they follow you when you do change things?
At Final Fantasy.
Sweet. So I've got two. First one is Bad Game Arts. I forgot to do any this week, but you can head on over to Bad Game Arts and see the worst art of... Oh, hey, did I put that up in the last week?
This was done on
in the
February
last
14th.
fortnight.
Oh, okay. I have done it. Yay me. I remembered my job.
That's what you did on Valentine's Day.
Yep. So I was looking at pictures of naked men throwing swords, and this is the top result that came up. So I decided to share it with you over at Bad Game Arts.
Wow, there's a lot going on in that.
There is. This is so these are games that I've actually found that I'm selling at the toy fair. So this one here, Phantom of the Asteroids. That alien has the weirdest looking penis I've ever seen.
Oh gosh, I just saw it.
What else we got there? Anto, is there another one coming down the line at Bad Game Arts? Oh, we've already done that one. But I will bring up this one here. Now, I probably should have put a picture up, but this is a Atari game called Demon Attack. Now, I'm actually just going to get up for a second.
I'll do it.
All right. Well, hang on. There's something else I need you to get as well. So just show that to the camera there, Floppy. Demon Attack. Go in a bit closer. Look at those spaceships. Don't they look cool? They're sort of like this amalgamation of robot and of beast, and they're all silver and flying through the sky. Anto, just describe that for a sec.
Well, it's got jagged teeth. Looks like it could potentially be scaly underneath the chrome. Clearly looks designed potentially to look like an F-14 Tomcat, but in space.
I'm going to go with more of an F-15.
Yeah, it's probably more accurate. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
It's just like one of the scaly boys on his back. That's weird. Yeah, it's really strange.
Just keep holding that up, Floppy. I want you to look at that dinosaur on the cover of this wonderful game.
Yeah.
You see that character? Mm-hmm. Look familiar? Hold it up. Hold it up. So this is a knockoff T-Rex I had as a kid. A knockoff.
It's the same.
It's the same toy. They have just got some cheap dinosaur toys from the local... Isn't that amazing? So I tested, I've got a wood grain Atari VCS that I'm going to be selling at the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair. And I came across this game and noticed that and went, well, I'm not selling that game. So it lives behind the dinosaur that's on the cover. And then you can also, well, it's Bad Game Arts. If you want to see more of that, head on over, have a good time. It's great for people who go on Instagram and want to be sexy and famous. And also over at Mr. Benjamin, again, I've done nothing but pay bills the past 3 months, so I haven't collected a lot. And the only thing I've put up is my little announcement that I indeed passed my 3rd Dan grading in the Japan Karate Association, and I'm now a 3rd Dan black belt.
Sensei Ben.
Ben Sensei.
Pardon?
That's what they say. Ben Sensei.
Okay.
Ben
Sorry.
Sensei. Do you know what the most disappointing part about it was? Like,
Why is there a disappointing part?
well, I like fighting. Like in karate, you got 3 main things. You've got three main areas. It's all right, my video games are just about to fall over, and they're very expensive. Three main things that you do in karate, and one of them is fighting. And I was really excited to fight in front of a 7th Dan black belt who was grading me. Mm-hmm. He flew down specifically for the occasion. You've got the invitations to try out for the Australian team for the World Cup are coming very, very shortly. Well, that's why I was excited to fight, to show this person that I can actually do some stuff. So went up against one of my training people, and I scored a point within 40 seconds, and the fight was over. So that was it.
Why isn't that good though?
Well, yeah, but I didn't get to showcase anything.
Oh, well, you showcased how quickly you can score.
Yeah, well, I pulled my punch, because if I hadn't, I would have broken his jaw. But yeah, it was...
You pulled your punch and you
Townsy
you
has
pulled and
asked
scored.
an important question.
Yes.
If you fought Dan McGuinness, would you beat him because you are more Dan than Dan?
I would, because I'm also more man than Dan.
Oh.
My God,
And that's why he's not in the show anymore. My masculinity pushed him out the door.
Oh my god.
And we're done.